I won't say to take the name of anyone because I don't
Yeah.
want any controversy.
I would not say this is good, this is bad.
You have had quite a diverse journey experience.
You have your social media and everything handy to you.
If I talk about like in terms of like salary,
It's a very toxic behavior. They should not exploit them by giving them lesser salary.
how do you ensure like your campaign stand out and gets selected?
Doesn't pay much to a new beginner. It's my request for the youngsters to be aware.
They are sending the same brief to like multiple agencies.
HRs who are hiring not to exploit the youngsters. Very fancy idea, but it doesn't, meet the objectives that they have in mind.
They are putting their hard work into creating a presentation.
I will tell you how it works. Hogging on lot of.
So don't you think it is also the kind of like exploitation for the agencies?
I've heard a lot of people who are selling are not qualified, so they will just ask somebody to be the cow.
Yeah, we should
Again,
avoid controversy.
again. So yeah, so it's totally okay. It's cool how you present it.
Every second person is selling a copywriting course.
It to the room first. So you need to win the room first, then you will go out and win the market.
एडवर्टाइजिंग इंडस्ट्री जितनी खूबसूरत इंडस्ट्री है, इसमें एंट्री करना उतना ही डिफिकल्ट. सो इफ यू आर समवन हु वांट्स टू एंटर इनटू दिस इंडस्ट्री और जो ऑलरेडी वर्क कर रहा है, प्लीज डोंट मिस दिस पॉडकास्ट एट एनी कॉस्ट. ट्रस्ट मी, आपकी 90% प्रॉब्लम का सोल्यूशन आपको इसी से मिल जाएगा. प्लस आई हैव स्पेशल सरप्राइज फॉर माय ऑडियंस, सो स्टे ट्यून्ड टिल द एंड. So, hello Sankab, welcome to my Make It Happen podcast with Anisha. So, first of all, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited. I don't know what happens on the podcast. This is my first time, so yeah, I'm excited and I'm nervous as well.
Okay, so just like before we dive into like any other things, I would like to know like how advertising like happened to you.
I think it was supposed to happen, so it didn't happen accidentally. So I somehow discovered advertising through print ads, and I used to, think who is writing these ads or who is the person behind this ad. So I had no idea. I had no formal education about advertising. And somehow I, met a lot of people who were doing advertising, but I didn't know the keyword that they were in ad agencies and all. But they used to keep on writing a lot of stuff, and somehow somebody gave me keyword to write few lines for IPL. So it was in 2012. So then I discovered some, okay, this is how advertising is. This is how cool people, they were like, watching GOT. They were watching, a lot of, cringe movies at that time. So even before cringe was a trend. So I discovered a lot of. I thought, okay, this is a very cool cult that I want to be part of them. So while sticking around them, I got the opportunity. I think it was meant to be.
Yeah, destiny. We can say destiny. Okay, so like like our first segment is like थोड़ी सी जान पहचान हो जाए. So my first question, like I went through your LinkedIn profile and you have had quite a diverse journey experience. You have worked as creative director, copywriters, and also like content strategist. So could you help audience to understand how these roles differ from each other?
So I would not go to technical differentiations, but for example, if you are a content writer, you're supposed to have a lot of technical understanding. So you are writing for long form, and people who go before this AI LLM search, they were Google search. So people will go and search for an article and items, and then you see a lot of links coming up, a lot of articles and a lot of sites that will take you to the existence of that item that you're looking for. So those are plugged in through a lot of keywords, and so it's a different search engine optimization game. So you need to understand how it works. So it changes every month, every quarter. So that I am not a pro, but I did a lot of content writing as well. When there is a need, I still would want to learn more, because I hear a lot of changes are happening there as well. But I always wanted to write more lines which will be on a ad, like in a print ad or a TVC or a DVC. So I always wanted to write more creative lines, and I feel my inclination is more towards creative writing. So it's not like I have a separate understanding of content writing. I did a lot of websites, a lot of e-com sites, and all. So that only helped me to be in the game. There I got the opportunity to write actually creative stuff. So finally, I diverted from content writing maybe in 2019, and then I started writing for to brands and ads and scripts, etc. And copywriting will be like saying a lot of stuff with lesser words, so you don't need 500 words. So for content writing, you will always get an requirement of ki 600 words chahiye. You need to stuff 16 keywords, you need to have repeated keywords. So it's a very different game. I'm sure who is doing it, they know it, and who don't know, there would be some confusion, but you can simply read it out and it will be very clear to you. It's not very hard to differentiate, but you need to ask yourself. So if your heart lies in creative writing, then you should try to, at least if not as a pro, but at least go and intern for a copywriter role. So that's how you start.
Okay. So you have also worked in small agencies and also like big agencies like Shebang. So my main question,
Yeah.
from your perspective, how does the
Yeah.
working environment differ between both agencies?
So I'll tell you, even if you work for a big agency or a small agency, so you'll only work with at least 10 to 12 person in any given time. So maybe if you're working for a brand or a campaign or a pitch, so you will not be working with the 900 people who is in your big agency. So I was in Shebang for a very not for a longer period of time, but there were like a lot of people who were different teams. So everybody would have their own brief about what they need to do. So I don't see much difference between small agency and bigger agencies. Of course, the kind of people that you meet would be different. In a smaller agency, you will be working with a tight knit group of people, uh, and everybody would be there for at least 1 or 2 years. So you'll only be exchanging ideas and learnings and everything from each other. But in a bigger agency, you might be working with different set of people when there is a need. So you could stumble upon a great copywriter, a great creative director, a great AVP in a bigger agency. That's the only difference. So how you take from people, if you are open to learning and listening on in different meetings, and how you, maybe if you are a people's person, if you're not an introvert, you go out and go ask for some tips. Sorry. And maybe you'll be more enlightened there. So I don't see a difference, because any given period of time, you'll be working with your own close team, your art team, your client servicing, your creative people. But I would not say this is good, this is bad, but I feel you chance to meet up on some people in bigger agencies more than in a smaller agencies. And that totally depends on how it turns out. Like it could be simple hi, and it will mean nothing to you unless and until you get something more out of that person.
Yeah. Okay, so like now lot of people want to join their career with big agencies because there are, first of all, like brand tag. I mean to say like
Hmm.
Ogilvy. If someone is working with Ogilvy's and then he has the tag of Ogilvy and it already like heavy the resume of person, right?
Yeah.
So like you have worked like for with the like small agencies and big agencies. So what would you prefer? Like, if you have to guide someone to choose between them, so what would you recommend?
Yeah, so it's not even preference also. You need to get through the interview, and how you are ready to be in any of the place. Even for a smaller agency, at least you need to have the basics right. So if you have worked in a smaller agency for a year, maybe interned there for 6 months, and you work there for 6 months more, then you have a 1 year X in total, then you can go apply for a bigger agency, because it totally depends on you that if you want to go there for learning, discovering things, or for the making your CV look stronger. So even in bigger agencies, there you might end up working for brands that don't excite you, and with people who would not teach you anything. So initially, if you are just starting out, maybe you just need to focus on learning things. So in a bigger agency, you might feel overwhelmed if you immediately go and figure out, okay, everybody knows a lot of things and I don't know anything, and I don't know whom I need to ask for something, for a favor, for a guidance. Then that could be an overwhelming thing for you. But I'm not saying you should not try. A lot of people have started there and they have shined themselves within a year or two. So it's what's inside you that matters. Even if you are going for a bigger agency, that is totally okay. But you need to first, go try your luck. If you got an opportunity for an interview, you will go and you will know, okay, what kind of questions they're asking. If they're asking for some work, if they're asking for something that is there, maybe somebody just ask you, ki, can you tell me three ads you saw last week, and you are not ready, right? So that means you are not ready yet. You are not relevant yet. You are just thinking, okay, I will just go and they will choose me for who I am as a person. But that is totally okay. You will find how you need to prepare for the best interview, the best version of yourself. You will go and you will understand. Like if you go and fail at three interviews, you will see, okay, ये सारी चीजें पूछेगा, then I will have to be ready. I will just look at some ads, I will just read up something about advertising, I'll just see what is trending. So a lot of bigger agencies are very open now. So you have your social media and everything handy to you, so they are also open that that you have some digital knowledge and how your digital ads and social media ads are working right now. You might not have a mainline ad experience immediately, but you might want to go and just enter, know people, and see how things work out for you right now. Then maybe after a year you will keep watching and keep learning. Then you maybe ask somebody, hey, I think I'm ready for the next level, why don't you put me on a proper campaign, and I will just work even with the responsibilities that I have right now. I'll just want to learn, put me in the pitch. So that's how you maybe grow to the next level. I hope that
Okay.
answers.
Yeah. If I talk about like in terms of like salary, I have heard like big agencies, they don't pay much because you are using their tag. So does it happen like this? I have heard
Yeah.
from somewhere.
So I would not count every the bigger agency in the same category. So a lot of agencies, there are a lot of agencies which are digital first, social first, and they are bigger in numbers, head counts. So a lot of agencies have 400 employees, 500 employees, but they are not, maybe working on social media brands and UGC ads and all. So you don't know what kind of work that is happening there. But the main problem is, since every youngster is attracted to them, they should not exploit them by giving them lesser salary. So it's a very toxic behavior. So I will be very strong in saying that if the youngsters are looking up to them and thinking them as the stepping stone of building their career and all, they should not exploit them by giving lesser salary. So it is not hire them young and exploit them young. I don't know what is the saying, but I keep hearing this happening, and I would not advocate that I have seen it, but it does happen. But it should not be generalized that every bigger agency doesn't pay. But there are some who doesn't uh, like doesn't pay much to a new beginner, and they do have a lot of cappings. So it's not like that somebody can go and change it the same day. It's how it has been. And for initial years, be ready that salary is not going to be on your side. You will have to work hard, but I'm sure, like, if you can manage, and if you are excited about advertising, and you will not mind it. But I would not want you to go brain dead and feel burnt out or something. But be ready. There are a lot of agencies are there who would exploit a young soul for sure. And it's my request for the youngsters to be aware, and for the HRs who are hiring not to exploit the youngsters at least.
Yeah. Okay, brands like often share the same brief with like multiple agencies. In such a competition scenario, how do you ensure like your campaign stand out and gets selected?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So you would not know that you're doing it right. There has to be some basics that needs to be checked properly. So you first what you do, you have the brief that you receive from the. I hope it's a written brief. So you need to get a written brief first, and you need to understand that. What they're looking for. There could be a lot of objective. The objective could be sales. The objective could be awareness. The objective could be, they just want to just put on an ad so that they are relevant. So it could be, maybe taking a dig on somebody else. So the objective could be anything, but you need to be true to the objective, the whatever campaign that you are doing, and then your the core team which is working on the pitch or the campaign, they need to be sure that what they are presenting, the idea. So you can't obviously guess that what the other person is coming at. They might be coming up with different ideas. It could be similar to yours as well,
Yeah.
but you need to be like, feeling it in your gut that I think this is how this new idea will give them the objective that they're looking for. And you are sure that, okay, I don't see a plan B. If you have two ideas, go and present the two ideas. But if you have one idea, go and take it and tell them why it will work for them. I think the conviction in your gut will be transferred in the meeting, and definitely they would either pick it or not pick it. But if you are not, if you just have a very fancy idea, but it doesn't meet the objectives that they have in mind, so it will not fly anyway. So that is a check that you need to do at your end.
Okay. Don't you think like this is also the kind of exploitation? Like there are so many brands and they are sending the same brief to like multiple agencies, and they are putting their hard work into creating presentation. So don't you think it is also the kind of like exploitation for the agencies?
Yeah, I will not be the right person to comment on this, but I do know that a lot of agencies also send out for candidates that they submit
Yeah.
some work. Then I have heard that people on the first person account they have said that they are exploiting students, like sorry, like students or young aspirants who are trying to get into industry, and they are using their campaigns, not giving them credit and not giving them a second round of interview. I think the same thing is happening to the brands as well. So I will tell you how it works. So those actual brand managers, they know the agencies. So for example, you are a brand owner. So you
Yeah.
love your baby, right? You love your product. You want your product to like go sell out, and you know you have a great product and people should have the product. So you will already know ki maybe three agencies would do great because you have seen their campaign. You know the creative director there. So you would not go out a public pitch ki, hey, I'm at a pitch. So that means you are just hogging on a lot of ideas, and because you are running out of ideas. So I am sure ki that is not how, because you are a brand manager, you are supposed to know three agencies. You already should know ki I need to do this from these guys because they are great on digital, they are great on films, they are great on print, OH and everything. So you will reach out to them directly and give them and call them for a pitch. Why don't you guys pitch? We have this idea and we see how you can take it all the way up. You will not just randomly put a post or something ki, hey, this is an idea. So I think that person is definitely wrong from the point A. That person is trying to get hog on a lot of ideas, and there's not the ethical way to do it. And you can simply see a lot of people not participating. They would just not waste their time.
Yeah.
Like they say, no, you can't play the same trick twice. So I am sure those people will be called out very soon, whoever is doing it. But this should not be there.
So like this is a kind of cycle, like agencies are exploiting aspirant or students, you can say, or brands are exploiting agencies. We can say
Yeah.
it is like,
Yeah. So we cannot generalize, but yeah, we see this happening, and you can't. So after all, we are all people, right? And human
yeah,
beings are known to, doing bad things to other humans, right? Counterparts. So of course, there would be some brands would be really, very serious about what they want to do, and they will come very clean that we have this much of budget and we want to do this, we want to do that. So I wish everybody gets those kind of clarity when they get a invite for a pitch, and I would not be able to, comment on whoever is trying to
yeah,
play
we
that
should
game,
avoid
dirty
controversy.
game. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, like there's one more thing. There's a belief presenting your idea is like more important than the idea itself. So is it really happen?